Here are some info and tasting notes for the Bruichladdich Port Charlotte 10-year-old. So this whiskey is a little bit intimidating for a lot of people, not just because it's peated, but because of the name. So if you break it down, it's pronounced Bruichladdich. Okay, so this is called the Port Charlotte 10. So it's named after the town of Port Charlotte, which is located about 2 miles south of the distillery itself. It's on the island of Islay, which is just off the west coast of Scotland. So these guys are quite proud of a lot of things that they do. They've started to take a lot more of their whole operation in-house with the intention of becoming completely kind of dependent only on their own facilities in order to produce their whiskies. This whiskey in particular is made with 100% Scottish barley, so it's barley that was only grown in Scotland. They've even gone further with some of their releases to use specific barley only from Islay, and even more specific as in barley from only certain farms. As well as organic. So quite a big push towards being able to do everything in Scotland from this distillery. They also do ferment, they do distill, they do age, and they do bottle their whiskey all on site, which is quite a cool thing, so that they have complete control over the whole process. But this whiskey in particular, aged for a minimum of 10 years, it is bottled at 50% ABV, so it is fairly strong. But they say that anything less than 50% for them, and you start to lose a lot of the influence of that barley on the flavor profile. So a big push for them. It's done in first fill American casks, as well as second fill American oak, and then there's a percentage around 25% that's also done in ex-French wine barrels. So you'll see on the color, you don't necessarily get a very dark color off of it, so it is quite a nice kind of bright gold color, not too much influence from anything like a sherry cask or anything such. So if you have a go on the nose, this is done to 40 ppm, so it is quite a big kind of smoke that will come through, ppm being phenol parts per million, but it's not necessarily overwhelming, which is quite cool about the nose on this. You definitely do get like a dry, earthy peat that comes through, but there's definitely a sweetness too, which I really like. So there's a sweetness, you might start picking up stuff like vanilla, maybe some hay, there's orange peel, and maybe even like a ginger or caramel coming through too. So really, really interesting on the nose and not so overwhelming as you'd expect from some of the peated distilleries. So really, really enjoy the nose on that. If you ever go on the taste, what you'll find is initially there's quite a nice sweetness that comes through. So you're gonna get stuff like coconut, you might get some vanilla, you might get a touch of lemon. There's some sweetness from stuff like a honeyed sweetness. And you definitely do get like a peated kind of meaty smoke coming through, which is kind of signature of Islay whiskies, is that big smoke, but it's kind of like a barbecue meatiness, which is really cool. But then you definitely do get hints of that barley coming through on the finish. So fantastically long finish on this whiskey, and at the end you'll certainly get small hints of sea salt, which is just gives you a hint to the fact that it is located right next to the ocean. So a great whiskey all round. I really love the packaging of it. I love their approach to bringing everything in-house, and they really are proudly Scottish. So I really do hope you enjoy the Bruichladdich Port Charlotte 10.